Hi everyone, it's been a busy month, so I have been thinking about what Star Wars versus video, and I decided to make more videos instead of shorts. So it will take more time to update. In this video, we will go through an interesting matchup scenario, that is when Luke Skywalker at the prime of his power versus a certain number of Ancient Sith from the era of the Old Republic. By Old Republic, I mean the comic Tales of the Jedi, the two Knights of the Old Republic game, and the Old Republic game. So let's say he will face off every boss fight figure of each game or comic, and let's put in some effort into analyzing how well each fight goes. So this video will be divided into 3 rounds plus 1 bonus round. Grandmaster Luke Skywalker is one of the most powerful Force users to actually walk the galaxy, and very likely he is the most powerful Jedi ever. His lightsaber skills were so advanced that it was like he was wielding 30 lightsabers at once, transcending forms and patterns with his insane level of Force amp. He can illuminate the galaxy with his Force light while defeating characters that can manipulate energy on a solar and planetary level. Luke is also able to conjure light-side version of the Force lightning and create golden fire lightning storm that are implied to be the result of his oneness amp and heavily injuring the powerful Force entity Abelos. When Luke reached oneness state with the Force, his strike was stated to be able to throw cruiser out of the planetary orbit and penetrated the body of Abelos, causing extreme pain to the entity. Besides great magnitude of power, Luke was also capable of a variety of Force abilities such as planetary level of illusion conjuring and space manipulation. Though these skills are not as sufficient than his direct method of attack in combat. Despite such great magnitude of power, it is important for us to know that Luke Skywalker is still mortal. He ages and dies while restricted to a physical body, and the greatest of his feats of injuring and eventually defeating Abelos is in a state of oneness and in the realm beyond shadow. In his final battle with Abelos, he manifested in a form of pure light-side energy that transcends the limitation of time and space. Yet such transcendence was only restricted to the time and space of his own being. Such state has no greater influence to the universe and the Force's own structure of time and space. Darth Krayt has also played an important role in their final battle against Abelos, so it is heavily suggested that the realm beyond shadow and Force user equally, despite Luke's embrace of the light side of the Force. The first round, Luke will be fighting against Exar Kun, with Luke being in his normal state and Exar Kun in his own body before his ritual. We have talked about Exar Kun's feats before, so overall he is a perfect combination of Force wielder and lightsaber duelist, whose mere presence in the Force caused a scream across the galaxy and enhanced the dark side to a much stronger position before his fall into the dark side. He enhanced his lightsaber to the stage of overpowering Force amp material that could easily absorb lightsaber power with ease. Exar Kun's defense is also beyond impressive. Without any prep time and being caught off guard, he tanked the purest form of Force light that could sever Force connection with minimum ease. Exar Kun kills Jedi Master with a single strike that leaves no trace of energy defense, who was at the same level of Master Storm, who could cleanse and seal entire planet of dark side energy that channels directly to the void of Force. Exar Kun had destroyed Sith spirits with Force blasts that have transcended the material plane of existence in the purest form of dark side energy. Do I believe Grandmaster Luke Skywalker could defeat Exar Kun in a fair combat? I think the outcome of this fight depends on whether Luke's light-side attacks could do damage to Kun when Kun is fully prepared and aware of his magnitude of power, since Exar Kun had shown to be able to tank similar, maybe more refined pure light-side energy attacks without any prep time. If Luke could overpower Exar Kun's defense in this early stage of the fight, then he will likely triumph against his opponent. If Luke's immediate attack could not defeat Exar Kun and the fight is prolonged like the fight between him and Abelos, I think Kun in this scenario, his endurance and knowledge of the Sith sorcery will eventually give him an advantage to overcome his opponent. So I think I would say this case as a draw. In the second round, Luke will go against the Sith Lord Darth Malak. As a big bad in the first night of the Old Republic game, Darth Malak was described as a scourge in the Force. His mere presence is felt across the galaxy with such intensity that it caused pain to the Jedis. He was able to lift starship, conjure force lightning that kill multiple targets, and stun his enemy with a varieties of force skills, such as force whirlwinds. He was also amped by the Starforge to drain life from captured Jedis, an ancient relic of Rakatan civilization that was implied to have defeated the Celestials. However, Malak's defense and attack were not nearly as impressive as Luke Skywalker in combat, and even amped by the Starforge, I see Luke overpowering him in both lightsaber combat and force attack with relative ease. If Malak could use the ground to his advantage, he may be able to prolong the fight, but there is hardly any chance for him to actually landing a deadly blow under the pressure of Luke's force light and force attacks. I would say Luke can take this round with relative ease. In the third round, Luke will be fighting Darth Nihilus, and this is a very tricky one. Darth Nihilus is a wound in the Force. His presence itself kills life around him, and his magnitude of telekinesis is insane. Nihilus was able to lift a fleet of ships, including a cruiser, out of the gravity field of Malachor 5, and holding the fragmented ships intact while traveling in hyperspace. Nihilus was also able to kill a planet of lives and hundreds of most powerful Jedi at their time, draining their force energy and life, and leaving a void in the Force that is without sound or color. This feat is so impressive because according to the description, he damaged the fabric of the Force with no prep and creating echoes in the Force that will eventually become so powerful to destroying Jedi, the Republic, and the true Sith, who is in this context so powerful that they see wounds in the Force as mere beacon for their interests. However, Nihilus was easily weakened when he could not feed, and it was suggested that should in this state his direct force drain against a specific individual failed, he will be severely weakened and vulnerable to physical and force attacks. If Grandmaster Luke Skywalker and Darth Nihilus encounter at their prime, who would win? I would say that Luke have fair chance of defeating Nihilus in certain conditions. If Luke is aware of Darth Nihilus' planetary draining, I believe he could manage to stop Nihilus in close combat using a combination of force flames and lightsaber attacks. However, should Nihilus was not weakened by his hunger and was already at the mode of consuming his opponent, Luke will not be able to weaken him like the Jedi exile did, since Nihilus will be able to gather strings to control another force string while contending with Luke's force attacks with his telekinesis power. Should Nihilus successfully perform another force drain on the Grandmaster, I believe even Wonder's state will not save Luke, since Nihilus is and has been causing wounds in the Force itself. However, if Nihilus was already weakened by his hunger, and Luke was able to prolong the fight while giving Nihilus pressure so that the Dark Lord will eventually be exhausted, and cannot maintain his form of a cloak and mask, Luke will eventually win the fight. So the outcome of this fight really depends on the condition of Darth Nihilus. At Nihilus' prime, I would lean to him in winning this fight, while if Luke have prep time and knowledge, and is able to wait until Nihilus become weaker because of his unfulfilled hunger, the Grandmaster would win this fight eventually. In the bonus round, Luke Skywalker would be facing the Sith Emperor and also Eternal Emperor Tenebrae, also known as Darth Vader and Valkorion. This is perhaps one of the most interesting matchup I have because both characters are very hyped in this community, and it does worth a longer video for any analysis. So leave your comment below if you want to watch this matchup or any other matchup so I can make another videos. Give me some ideas. Short answer, I don't think Luke Skywalker can defeat Tenebrae, not after Nasima, not in his disembodied spirit, and not in his Valkorion form. The Emperor was able to strip a planet of force, and through this ritual, ascend to a pure cosmic energy form, while holding one piece of the force itself within him, and it was only after his death that the force recovered from this abomination. Tenebrae was able to exist in pure spirit form without any amp, resisting the void of the force while disembodied and weakened. Long story short, the Emperor's ritual amp have made his normal state more influential and resistant to the force than the Grandmaster in his wondrous state, amped by the realm beyond shadow. If they fight in neutral ground, Luke can put up a good fight, exchanging Force Flame and Lightning with Tenebrae's Force Lightning Stone. However, Tenebrae can apply Mind Hacks and Spiritual Drain, while overpowering Luke with his sheer magnitude of power. If they fight in some place, like the realm beyond shadow, they fight in a pure spiritual form, Tenebrae will also be able to consume Luke's soul after he failed to kill Tenebrae's spiritual form, since they all held the same fraction of the Force, and he have 3 spiritual forms, and Luke could not tear this fraction of Force while defending against Tenebrae's greater draining abilities than Darth Krayt has ever had. So as always, I believe Luke have a fair chance against the Ancient Sith, but his victory can only be ensured in certain conditions. Overall, the Ancient Sith were extremely powerful. As always, thank you for watching this video, and please leave a comment if you like, whether it's about this video or suggestions for future videos. I think in the future I will be making more videos instead of shorts, so I need your ideas, and I hope I will update sooner with another interesting matchup. If you don't have suggestions for me, I will keep making videos of my own on my own accord. So thank you and see you soon.